Today we're diving into something that's causing quite a stir in the classic car community, the DVLA's consultation on registering historic, classic, rebuilt vehicles, and even those cool electric conversions as well. There's been a lot of confusion and scaremongering, but let's break it down and get the facts straight. First off, what is this consultation about? The DVLA and the Department for Transport are looking at updating the rules around how historic and classic vehicles are registered. This includes focusing on structural modifications and electric conversions. The consultation runs until July the 4th, 2024, and they're seeking our input. One hot topic is about significant modifications, especially to the chassis. For body-on-frame cars, repairs to the chassis are generally more straightforward. You can replace or modify the frame without it being considered a significant change. But for monocoque cars, where the body and frame are a single unit, any major repair or modification to the structure could be seen as a significant change. However, it's crucial to understand that repairs using like-for-like components, even on a monocoque structure, should not be viewed as a significant change if they are genuine repairs. The key distinction here is between repair and modification. To give you an example of a radically altered, modified classic car, take my long door Marina Coupe. Now this is a car which is drastically altered. I mean, we've got completely different front suspension on it, custom chassis rails which integrate into the shell, but obviously that is going to have an IVA test. Routine repairs that maintain the original specification of the vehicle are generally not considered significant modifications. Replacing parts with like-for-like components, absolutely fine. The DVLA isn't interested in penalising you for maintaining your classic car. Repairs to the chassis? Go for it. If you're using an original part, fabricated your own copy, or bought an aftermarket panel, you are fine. Right, so like-for-like repairs to the chassis. Now, my car is not original, but if it were, and I found this underneath the car, which is a very rusty chassis rail, under the proposals, I would be able to change this like for like. So whether it be a genuine part I found and was lucky enough to get, or whether it's a piece fabricated out of a piece of steel that was the correct gauge and all the rest of it, and it looks exactly the same as it does now, it doesn't alter the structural integrity of the vehicle, absolutely fine, go for it, not a problem. However, I am changing the chassis rail on this car for something more beefed up because I want to fit different suspension to the car, and also I'm using a component from another vehicle. So that complicates it a little bit, but I'm doing this in a way that is structurally sound, that is making sure that the structural integrity of the car doesn't suffer. However, because of that, I still have to present this vehicle, once it's built, to an IVA test centre for it to have either an age-related plate if I'm lucky, or if not, it'll be a Q plate. But if you were just changing the chassis rail on a car from a rotten piece to one you've either bought or made, you're fine. Don't worry about it. They are not penalising you for repairing your car. And if you have to make something because they're not on the shelf anymore, there's so many cars out there that obviously aren't supported with big companies that can provide you with panels and such, and you've got to make your own stuff, it's fine. If you're doing it correctly, if it's going like for like, OEM, the look, the feel and everything else, don't worry about it. You're not drastically altering the vehicle, you're repairing it. Electric conversions are also part of this consultation. The DVLA is figuring out how to handle the growing trend of converting classic cars to electric power. It's all about making sure these vehicles are registered correctly and safely. Now let's talk about the MOT exemption. Cars over 40 years old can be exempt from the annual MOT test, provided they haven't been significantly modified. Whilst this might sound great, there's a flip side. Without any yearly checks, there's a risk of some of these vehicles might not be as roadworthy as they should be. The Department for Transport argues that most owners of historic vehicles maintain them in excellent condition and use them sparingly, which reduces the need for an MOT. But as enthusiasts, it's crucial we still ensure our vehicles are safe. Just because you're exempt doesn't mean you should skip regular safety checks. After all, our love for these cars includes making sure they are safe to drive. The Federation of British Historic Vehicle Clubs, FBHVC, is also involved in this conversation. They've been consulting with the DVLA to make sure our voices are heard. It's important to stay informed and participate in these consultations to ensure the regulations work for all of us. Before you get swept up in the panic, remember, read the consultation details carefully. The changes aim to clarify and improve the process, not to strip us of our beloved classics. And if you're passionate about it, get involved. Give your feedback and stay tuned for updates. Participating is easy. Head over to the DVLA's consultation page, read through the documents and submit your feedback. Your input can help shape the future of historic vehicle registration. Remember, the point system is still in place. If your vehicle retains 8 out of the 14 possible points based on original components, you keep your original registration. Significant changes to the chassis or monocoque structure can affect this, so it's important to understand what counts as significant. Like-for-like repairs on monocoque vehicles are usually not considered significant modifications. And for those of you with MOT exempt vehicles, here are some tips. Perform regular safety checks. Use historic friendly MOT stations for voluntary checks, and join classic car clubs for support and resources. Safety first, always. That's it for today's ride through the DVLA consultation. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates and projects like these things here in my garage. That could be in your garage, but it's my garage. I don't think I've got a clutch.